Hey there, this is Sapali and welcome to the English Academic Facilitator. Today I'm going to talk about how to organize a good paragraph and the techniques you need to follow in paragraph writing. This is for all English learners. No matter what curriculum you are following, the techniques you are supposed to use are same. And remember, I'm not going to go deep into the grammatical components of the sentence structures and mainly focus on paragraph writing in this lesson. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now let's see what a paragraph is. A paragraph is an expected part of formal writing, consists of a group of single sentences written for a single topic or idea. How paragraphs are used in any piece of writing depends on its genre. For example, if it's a narrative text, it should be split into exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. But in other formal texts, there should be introduction, body, and conclusion. Here we are discussing a general paragraph writing. A typical paragraph consists of three parts. Topic sentence that expresses the main idea of the paragraph, and then supporting sentences that support the idea with evidence, examples, or points. And the last one is concluding sentence that sums up the supporting points. But this is optional. You can finish with or without the concluding sentence, so it's not a must. When you write, you need to maintain your purpose in each part and focus on a single idea. And you are not supposed to add another idea within the paragraph. When writing, you need to create a logical flow so as to bring the reader on a clear path. At the same time, use of vivid language helps the reader grasp the message. And also, maintaining coherence within the paragraph is also essential. Your vocabulary should enrich with powerful words with sensory language. You need to use variety of sentence structures and avoid repetition of words and structures. Your paragraph should be organized clearly in chronological order in which the events occur from first to last, or an order of importance, or any other logical order. Sentences in your paragraph need to be connected with each other to achieve a coherent paragraph. You can use transition words of sequence such as first, second, third, or last. And to show logic, you can use transition phrases such as furthermore, in addition, and in fact. You can keep the acronym PEEL in your mind when writing a paragraph. It needs a point and then evidence that backs up the point, and then explanation of the point that shows how the evidence supports it, and finally the link to the next paragraph where we use transition words. When to begin a new paragraph is a common problem to many of you. Usually, each paragraph should focus on one point. Other than that, we can start a new paragraph according to the change of the focus. It can be a change of the character, place, time, or a topic. Now let's see what we should do to express the idea effectively. Well, we need to use 4 types of sentences: simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and compound complex sentences. A simple sentence contains subject, verb, and object. Subject is the doer or the one who is doing the action, and the verb is the action that describes what the doer does, and the object describes the action. Here is an example for simple sentence. I ran round the park. I is the subject or the doer, ran is the verb, and round the park is the verb phrase. When two simple sentences join together with a coordinating conjunction, it becomes a compound sentence. There is an acronym that reminds you all the coordinating conjunctions. That's fanboys. F is for, A is for and, N is for no, N-O-R, no. B is for but, O is for or, Y is for yet, and S is for so. Here is an example for a compound sentence. I kicked the ball and it hit Tom. I kicked the ball is an independent clause that can stand alone without the other clause. And it hit Tom is also independent as it too can stand alone without the other clause. So, two independent clauses joining together with a coordinating conjunction and makes it a compound sentence. A complex sentence joins dependent and independent clauses together by using subordinating conjunctions. It provides a transition that involves a time, place, cause, or effect. Here are the subordinating conjunctions that can be used to form complex sentences. Wherever, whenever, when, while, as, after, before, once, that, if, until, in order to, as long as, although, even though, because, and, in case. Well, here are two examples for complex sentences. When the cake is brown, remove it from the oven. Here, remove it from the oven is an independent clause because it can stand on its own without the other clause. But the other clause, when the cake is brown, doesn't make any sense without the previous one. So it becomes dependent on the other. So one independent clause and a dependent clause joining with a subordinating conjunction when make it a complex sentence. Alright? And let's take the second example. You will definitely lose if you don't try. You will definitely lose is the independent clause as it can stand alone. But if you don't try, doesn't make any sense without the other. So it becomes dependent on the other clause. So here an independent clause and a dependent clause joining together by using a subordinating conjunction if makes it a complex sentence. Alright? Apart from subordinating conjunctions, there is another way to form complex sentences, that is using relative pronouns. We use three relative pronouns, who, which, and that. Here, who is used for people, replacing subject pronouns like I, we, he, she, and they. And which is used for objects and animals, while that is used for both people and things. You can see three examples. It was my husband who broke the car door. The robots which were waiting outside were ready for shipment. And the piggy bank that was on my desk got broken. Last one is compound complex sentences. They combine at least two independent clauses and one dependent clause. Don't forget to place commas to avoid confusion. Let's see an example for compound complex sentence. For compound complex sentences, we need two independent clauses and dependent clause. Here it is dark, but we shall travel, though it is difficult. You can see one coordinating conjunction and one subordinating conjunction, but and though. So it is dark is independent clause and we shall travel is also an independent clause. So there are two independent clauses joined together by a coordinating conjunction but. And after that we have another subordinating conjunction and a dependent clause, though it is difficult. So all together makes a compound complex sentence. All right? More examples for different types of sentences. I saw a man in ragged clothes is a simple sentence. I saw a man and he was in ragged clothes is a compound sentence. I saw a man who was in ragged clothes is a complex sentence. I saw a man who was in ragged clothes walking along the road is compound complex sentence. Now let's read a basic paragraph written by a beginner for an example, and we'll reword it, correcting all the errors to make it a more standard piece of writing. Please note that I use green for simple sentences, blue for compound sentences, red for complex sentences, and purple for compound complex sentences. Fishing is one of my hobbies since childhood is a simple sentence. It helped me ease my stress after 14 days of quarantine is also a simple sentence. So last weekend I woke up early morning and left for the nearest beach for fishing. Here, I woke up early morning and left for the nearest beach for fishing are two independent clauses. So these two independent clauses are joined together by a coordinating conjunction and, so this is a compound sentence. I sailed a long way stretching my feet which were tightened by tensed muscles. Here it's very clear the relative pronoun which is used, so it becomes a complex sentence. I started fishing in the vast sea under the sun and sky is a simple sentence. I struggled a lot to catch a fish is also a simple sentence. It made me bored is also a simple sentence. So I turned back to go home is also a simple sentence. But the last one, however, I didn't want to waste my day, so I thought of hiking a nearby mountain to explore and admire nature. Here, I didn't want to waste my day and I thought of hiking a nearby mountain to explore and admire nature are two independent clauses, and these two independent clauses are joined together by the coordinating conjunction. So it is once again a compound sentence. When we analyze the structure of the previous paragraph, 70% of simple sentences and 20% of compound sentences and 10% of complex sentences are used. But the expected portion of a good paragraph is 50% complex sentences, 30% compound sentences, and 20% simple sentences. So let's see how we make it according to the expected portion. In the previous paragraph, the writer has repeated I in 3 consecutive sentences. The issue is he has placed I in the first position of the sentence in all 3 times. So, it is penalized for repetition of same structures. What you have to do is change in the position of I. If you change it as after some time, I started fishing in the vast sea, it would be okay. So, by adding after some time, you can shift I to the second position to avoid penalty. Okay? Now let's see how I made that paragraph more standard and more academic. I have used 2 simple sentences, 2 compound sentences, 4 complex sentences, and 1 compound complex sentence. Fishing trips always recharge my stressed out mind and body caused by work stress is a simple sentence. And another simple sentence I used is, in the middle of the vast expanse of sea under the sunlit sky, I felt my body becoming lighter and mind more soothing. Even though they are simple, I have used standard sentences, standard simple sentences. Next is the compound sentence. I was playing tug of war for a long time with the fish that bit my bait, but the surrounding calm induces me to doze off. So here, 2 independent sentences. I was playing tug of war for a long time with the fish, and the surrounding calm induces me to doze off. both two independent sentences, and these two independent sentences are joined by a coordinating conjunction but. And next one is, however, after an enormous struggle, I fed up and decided to spend the rest of the time savoring nature. I fed up is one sentence, and decided to spend and the rest, because there are two verbs, fed and decided. So they are two independent clauses, and these two independent clauses are joined together by the coordinating conjunction and. Apart from this, I used a compound complex, so we can take it for both. So yesterday, before the break of dawn, I left my workaday world and slipped into an airy, isolated place to breathe some fresh air while enjoying some fishing. So here, before the break of dawn, I left my workaday world and slipped into an airy, isolated place. So these are two independent clauses. I left my workaday world and slipped into an airy, isolated place, because left and slipped, two verbs and two independent clauses. So it is joined with the complex sentence by using a subordinating conjunction while. So it becomes compound complex sentence. And at last I used 4 complex sentences. However, last fortnight was terrible as I had to quarantine, having imprisoned at home. Here the subordinating conjunction as is used, so it is a complex sentence. Even though a sudden urge made me retreat from this bliss of solitude, my instinct at once denied that thought. Here, even though is used, it is a subordinating conjunction, so it is also a complex sentence. Truly, if I missed the cool breeze on the top of the cliff adjoining to the beach, my trip would never be such a comforting one. So here, the subordinating conjunction if is used to join two sentences together. So it becomes a complex sentence. After finishing your writing, you need to check if everything is included for a successful paragraph. Here, I've used 50% complex sentences, 30% compound sentences, 20% simple sentences. And it consists of topic sentence and supporting sentences. And it contains the single idea of releasing stress by using a stress buster, that is, going out for fishing. And I have used transition words for coherence and also variety of sentence structures, powerful vocabulary, and no repetition of words and structure to be seen in my paragraph. Well, that's the end of today's lesson. So hope you have an idea of what is expected for a good paragraph. So learn these techniques and practice writing to improve your writing skills, as practice makes you perfect. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.